Hello, everyone. Welcome to another day of Tiny Towns at High Noon. This is the 95th day. We are getting ever closer to 100 days of Tiny Towns at High Noon, and I'm not even sure how many days of just AEG games at High Noon. But thank you all for joining. We've got an awesome fortune set up for you. This is also probably about, I would say, at least 15 days of Tiny Towns in a row with Pete's signature terrible calling. Josh, how's your brick card coming? Is it almost there?
I'm supposed to get it tomorrow, so
Wow, very exciting stuff. So on
tomorrow is
Thursday,
Santa Monica, so Thursday I can host.
right? Yes, and then you're on vacation, and we'll be back to Pete's terrible calling for a week. So,
Terrible calling.
I don't disagree. I think I've been better the past couple days, but in general, it is rough.
Yes.
So joining us here on the stream, we have Vladimir Oriana, as always.
Hello, everyone.
You've got Kyle Nunn.
Hello.
And Josh Wood.
Hello, everyone.
And Vlad, who do we have joining us in the chat, waiting very patiently? Sorry for the delay, everyone.
Yeah. Today we have Amber Lynn, Andy Vett, Joel Underwood, Omar Hernandez, Ryan Moss, David Bauer, and thank you, David, for reminding us that today is Tiny Towns 95. Frank Bicocci, Julian Lehner, Leslie Clixby, Richard Gans, Mr. George Wood is also on the chat, Richie Yang, Maya Skripegel. Sorry, Maya, if I'm not pronouncing it that right. Alice Wood, Casey Jones, Jade Redfield, John Ronson, Ross Gutierrez, Bill Kennedy, John Cale, Patrick Token, Kurt Heinemann, Dan Leu, Tori Haitland, Thomas Grieve, Alison Parkland, and Jen Lee. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tiny Towns 95. Remember that we do a daily giveaway, and if you want to be part of that, you just need to like and share the stream.
Awesome. I see, Vlad, you've got the jeweler card up there. Are you able to blow up the root cellar as well? It's also from Fortune.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
1 second.
Awesome. It's okay. And if this is your first time playing, the way it's going to work is we'll be using the resource deck to play Town Hall mode. So I will flip a card from that deck. Everyone must place that resource. I flip a second card that everyone must place. And then every third card I burn face down. And it is builder's choice. You choose which resource you want to place in your town. So there are 15 cards in the deck, 3 of each resource. We usually go through the deck 3 or 4 times. So in today's setup, we have the cottage. Our red building from Fortune is the root cellar that I'll come back to. Gray is the shed. Orange is the temple. Green is the almshouse. Yellow is the jeweler, which is going to work slightly differently in this format. I'll get back to that as well. And black is the bank. And then, as always, you should deal yourself 2 monuments from the deck. If you want, you can select just from the Fortune monuments. If you're shuffling all of them in, be sure to take out the Starloom and Opalize Watch, as those do not work in this format. So the way Fortune works, if you're not familiar, you're totally able to play at home even if you don't have the expansion. You'll just need to grab a screenshot of the 2 cards that Vlad has put on the screen. And you will need 4 tokens that can act as coins, could be pennies or whatever little bits you want. So in Fortune, you have the ability to earn coins, which are worth a point at the end of the game. And the main way you earn coins is by constructing 2 buildings at the same time. So you get 1 layout on your board, you leave it there, get another building layout, and then trigger both at once. That will earn you 1 coin every time you do it. And you can't earn more than 1 coin for building a bunch of buildings in 1 turn. So you pretty much only want to build 2 things at once. The real useful part of coins is that if you don't want to place a resource that I flipped from the deck, you can pay a coin to place whatever resource you want. So they are super handy in that regard, and they give you a bit of flexibility. So our 2 fortune buildings for today, the root cellar gives you 1 coin as soon as you build it, which is nice. And it feeds any number of cottages in any row or column for 1 coin per row and column. So if you had your cottages in like 3 different rows and columns, it would cost you 3 coins to feed them at the end of the game. The jeweler is worth 4 points. When constructed, you have to pay a coin to build it. So that's the way it's going to work in this mode. You must pay 1 coin to build jeweler. Otherwise, if you don't have a coin, you cannot construct it. And the bank, we often get a few questions about this one in this format. It says, when constructed, place a resource on this building, not on another bank in your town. As master builder, you can no longer name the resource on your bank, so that just means when it's builder's choice, you cannot choose the resource you have on bank. However, you can still place that resource when it's called from the deck, and you can still pay a coin to change a resource called from the deck into a resource on your bank. Alrighty, the first resource of the day is a brick.
First resource is a brick. Okay, give me 1 second.
You explained the changes to the jeweler today.
Yes.
Okay.
You just spend a coin.
Pete,
You
I have a
must spend a
question.
coin.
Estival
Sure.
Festival for you.
Yep.
I assume the spot on the left-hand side means I can hold 5 coin max as opposed to the normal 4. Is that
Yes,
correct?
I actually answered that one in the comments. But yes, if you have any monument like
Okay.
Shrine of the Windseed that has that little half circle there, that means it's an extra coin slot. You can tuck an additional coin there. Oh yes, and for those of you who don't have Fortune at home but are playing with Fortune rules, you have a max of 4 coins. Normally you've got a little chest that holds your 4 coin slots. And of course, if you don't want to play Fortune, feel free to use whatever buildings you want. It's totally fine. After that brick is a wheat. It's going to go right there.
Wheat.
And then
Michael
following
says,
wheat,
I wish this quarantine stuff was over so I could play board games with my group again.
Oh,
That's why we're here.
yes.
Yep. Builder's choice is after that.
Sorry, it was brick, then what?
Brick, then wheat.
Wheat.
And then
You know,
builder's choice.
You know, Josh, I really wish to be there at Larkstone playing with you guys. I really miss that.
I mean,
Well-
you're not at Larkstone either, are you, Josh?
No, I'm not at Larkstone either. I haven't been to Larkstone. I think the last time I was in Larkstone was the last time that we were there together, Pete. Honestly.
Wow, that's wild. I mean, makes sense given the timing of stuff. I remember my last visit out to California. That was when stuff was really getting a bit alarming. I remember all of us were
Yeah, it was
checking the news.
Yeah, it was kind of during the time where it was sort of like, yeah, there's like 10 cases in America, but then like by the time we were at Gamma, it was like 100 cases, you know. Like,
Well, there were two
blowing up.
cases in Orange County, which felt scary. And now
Yeah.
we've got like 45 cases in the county where I am, and it's like, easy to get desensitized to this really horrible thing we're all going through.
I am not
Brick is
desensitized,
next. I know you.
but I will say I think there's 2 people in my building complex that have it. So
Wow.
Oh.
Brick, you say? Okay.
I think that there have been people who've died who work at the grocery store across the street, you know, like
Wow.
like
Yeah,
employees.
I'm in a low population area-ish compared to Orange County. I think we've only had like 17 deaths. Obviously, still terrible, but
Yeah.
much fewer cases here. After brick is glass. Anyway, on to some lighter stuff. Has anyone been reading anything good lately, or watching anything good?
You know,
yeah, I'm watching Lovecraft Country.
Oh, how is that?
Oh,
Looks awesome.
It's interesting. It's not what I was expecting, but it's just getting better. I think the first smallest story arc left
Mhm.
me wonder what they were going to do with the series, and now that they are starting a second part of that the next arc, it looks better.
Cool. After that, glass is builder's choice.
I'm in the middle. So every weekend, my girlfriend and I, we each choose a movie that we would like to watch that we force the other person to watch. She's making me watch all these 80s movies that neither of us have seen. We're just sort of getting caught up. I mean, we're not like punishing each other with our choices or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been watching a lot of things like that. I got to see Footloose for the first time on Saturday.
Ooh.
And I've been spending my picks just sort of randomly. This past Sunday, we watched Howl's Moving Castle. It's been a very long time. I watched that class after finals one semester at school, and I was extremely tired when I saw it, and so I didn't have a good memory of it, and so
I'll give everyone a glass next.
So I chose that, and then she and my girlfriend had never seen it before, and I'm still studying Japanese, so I've been trying to sneak in a lot of Japanese movies lately.
After Glass is Another Glass, which I hate it.
Wow.
Do not like it.
Triple glass.
Good job.
And yes, it was Triple Glass. So today is going to be just,
One of those
normal,
days.
just
Normal Tiny Towns.
Pete calling resources, Tiny Towns days.
Normal Pete shenanigans.
So,
Yep, and After Glass is Builder's Choice, thankfully.
did you guys watch Mulan?
I have
No.
not.
Okay, we will talk about Mulan next week.
Gosh, have you
I
seen-
avoided
have
it
you
because
seen,
I've heard bad things.
Yeah.
Is-
Have you ever seen Better Off Dead, Josh? With John Cusack?
Yes, I actually have an interesting story about that movie, but yes, why?
Just because that's one of my favorite 80s movies.
Yeah, I think that is one of the greatest 80s movies. In college, one of my professors was he was a screenwriter or he was a producer on that movie.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Producer.
Next up is Wood, everybody.
He was also a producer on the little-known film Breakfast Club as well. But
Wow.
yeah, but it's interesting. That is one of my I think that's the I think as far as like 80s movies goes, like that's one of the most underrated 80s movies. I think that
It's so weird. It's so good. It's so weird.
I love his friend when he's like teaching him to ski. He's like, something gets in the way, turn. Whatever he says.
After Wood is a Wheat. Yeah, it's a good one.
We have a couple of announcements for today, some extraordinary announcements. First, today's prize is a copy of the promo tokens for Mariposas, the purple butterflies. And we will let Ryan and John tell you more about that in a couple more of days, but that's the prize for the day. And second, on September the 15th, we are going to have a Spanish stream of Tiny Towns. It's going to be played around 5 p.m. PST, so I hope that the Latino community gets here and play with us.
Cool, that's great. All right, after that Wheat is Builder's Choice. I'm gonna build my first building.
Ryan asked if the Kevin Bacon Footloose or the recent remake. We watched the original. Although I always get in trouble. I sometimes watch movies and I get this weird desire to get the wardrobe that the characters in the movie have.
Rick is your next resource.
Like I want to get like a bunch of skinny ties after.
What did you call before that break, Pete?
Builder's Choice was before that.
Awesome. Okay, David is saying that he played Truffle Shuffle, Mystic Vale, and Tiny Epic Dinosaurs with friends on his house on Saturday. Congrats, David. I hope you enjoyed the games. And then
a lot of people in the comments are commenting on $2.
Yeah, I don't get the $2 reference.
You gotta watch Better Off Dead.
You gotta watch Better Off Dead.
Yep. All right. After that, Brick is a Stone. Stone is good stuff.
Dave Bauer says, I found out that the new Dune novel is out next month called The Duke of Caladan. So looking forward to that.
I'll be rereading Dune. My wife has never read it before, and I haven't read it since I was like 14 or so. We're going to reread it in anticipation of the new movie. Which is
have you read other other books in that series, or have you
just the first two? And then last up is Builder's Choice to end that run.
Did you feel disconnected from the rest of the series when you read them, Pete? That happened to me. I just didn't feel that I was reading Dune anymore.
Well, the second book feels like a fairly direct sequel.
I just read
Paul is still the protagonist, and I don't know much about the rest of the series. So
the series that's like that for me, I don't know if have you ever read the Ender's Game series?
First book in that one as well.
So like the first book, Ender is 6. But in the second book, he's 40. It's like it's just this different thing. And then there's the other branch where you can read Ender's Shadow, which takes place like simultaneously. But like once again, it's the second book is just so different. So none of them are the same. Yeah.
Anything else we should talk about in this first shuffle?
Yes, Kyle is
So-
gonna help us. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah. So this week on the alderacstore.com, our special is buy any $50 worth of products, and you can get a Smash Up Faction Pack for free. Use the promo code, and I don't remember what I made it. 1 second. That was only hours ago. I should remember this. Aha. Faction grab. One word.
Faction graph.
Grab.
Okay.
One word, and you'll get the you add both of them to your cart and use that code, and you'll at checkout you'll get the faction pack for free. Yes, one word. Vlad.
Cool. All right, I'm going to start off this next run through the deck with a brick, which, if you're going for an almshouse strategy like me, is bad.
I randomly am going for a temple strategy, and so
Is that random?
I guess
You do
not.
love
I love the temple. The temple is
Yeah.
just one of my favorite cards. I think it's interesting. Like, it's good enough. John Kill says, or Skakar's probably for a number of reasons. Yes.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
This is true. Wood is next up. Oh boy. A wood, you say?
Sandra says, hi, AG. Hello, Sandra.
Hello.
I'm gonna pay a coin.
When I think about my favorite 80s movies, my favorite like 80s movie is like Back to the Future or like The Princess Bride.
Yeah, Princess Bride is pretty hard to beat. I mean, so I'm sure many will disagree, but in my personal opinion, I think the 80s was the best decade for movies and the worst decade for music.
I think it's the
Like-
worst decade for movies, actually.
Wow. I love camp. I love anything cheesy or campy.
Yeah, I mean, so my issue, I mean, I don't know.
Did I say dealer's choice already? I don't think I did. Dealer's choice after that would.
I'm just gonna sound like a curmudgeon if I talk about why the 80s is the worst decade. But a lot of the 80s movies that I like are not like the quote unquote 80s movies. Like obviously, like My Neighbor Totoro is in the 80s, and the last Emperor is 80s. Like Amadeus is in the 80s, right? Those are all.
Mhm.
But what's funny is the 80s. It's not the worst decade for music, and it's got some really great ones. It's weird. I used to always say 90s was the best decade for music, but I think it's actually maybe the worst. Maybe or the early 2000s, like the early aughts. That is
Early 2000s has been one of the worst decades for music.
Oh man, I gotta disagree there. I would say 90s is my favorite. Yeah, and I shouldn't have said worst. It's just that 80s for me is my least favorite decade for music.
And
90s is probably my favorite.
And
Or
wow,
maybe even
80s you have
2010s.
Michael Jackson, you have Madonna, you have Bruce Spring. I don't know. There were so many great guys on the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Maybe the style.
I don't listen to any of
The Cure
people.
was in the 80s.
Yeah.
There's those four artists are part of the reason why the 80s might be my least favorite for music.
Really?
Wait, do you not like The Cure?
I probably shouldn't talk about The Cure. Next up is
Wow.
that being said,
The
a lot of
Cure.
my favorite bands formed in the 80s, but I totally don't like their 80s albums.
What's the name of that band?
I guess Beastie Boys are technically 70s because they go way back. I enjoy the Beastie Boys a lot. I like Nine Inch Nails a lot, but not so much their 80s stuff.
Okay.
Was Radiohead technically 80s or like really early 90s?
They're the 90s.
Early 80s, 90s.
You don't go by when the band was formed. You go to like what their like
The Explosion.
what their music was like.
Sure.
And I mean, there's some bands that are multiple decades. Like you could say REM is the 80s and the 90s, right? Like you could say those. But
after that, wheat is a glass. Yeah,
I can
I have
still
lots of
digest the bit about the Cure.
lots of music opinions I probably shouldn't share if I don't want to get bullied off of this stream.
No, you can. Please do so. Not because of the bullying, because I want to see a different opinion. I want to hear it.
I mean, you know what's interesting? I'm looking at my records right now.
You still have records.
Yeah,
I think
have,
Beastie Boys
were not 70s.
I think they technically were. I mean, no one thinks of them as a 70s band, but I think technically they formed like 79 or something.
No.
After that, Glass is Builder's Choice.
Yeah, I would say Blondie. That's an 80s. You know what?
I like Blondie.
80s. I have the least 80s probably in my collection.
I definitely have the most
90s.
I have the most early 2000s, a lot of 2010s. I mean, to keep things more positive, here's a wood next, which no one asked for. I would say, yeah, I'm gonna spend a coin.
Yeah, that's a coin spent. A coin spent and a coin.
Okay, Ryan is saying Beastie Boys started as a punk group in the late 70s, I believe, but switched to hip hop in the 80s. Yeah.
That sounds about right. And after that, wood is a stone. Ooh, the thing I just chose, and I need it, but like not yet. Oh, that's gonna be awkward. Yeah. So, and then after that is a Builder's Choice. To keep it positive stuff, music that I do like a lot. I feel like the past 5 years for me it's been like an explosion of music discovery. Just so many new bands I've gotten really into.
Here's a weird thing though. Like, yes, a lot of my favorite music comes from the 90s. And like there's a lot of new bands that I like that come out today. But it's unfair for me to use the bands that I like as a barometer for that decade, because a lot of the people I like nowadays, like the current bands that I like, are not the popular people. I don't, I like the, the weird indie bands or whatever. Like I'm wearing a shirt for this band still. I can't, like, they're a current band, but I couldn't be like, oh yeah, this decade is the best music. It's got Bombadil. No one knows who that is.
And then after that, wheat is a glass.
Ali's saying that the 60s, she thinks that the 60s music is the best.
60s is good.
I know the most 60s. I mean, most of my records are the 60s. Like, I love the Beach Boys. I guess the Beatles are okay and things like that. And I love Zeppelin. And
guess the Beatles are okay. Ooh.
I like Simon and Garfunkel.
After that, glass is Builder's Choice. Yeah, I would say.
Sorry,
so modern bands, what's that, Vaughn?
Woodstone, Builder's Choice. Then it was Glass?
Wheat, Glass, Builder's Choice.
Okay.
Lately, I really enjoy Sylvan Esso, Group Love, Fantagram, Alt J. Car Seat Headrest has been a favorite.
Yeah, Pete and I both love this band, Car Seat Headrest. And
did you listen to their new album?
Which one?
The one with Hollywood on it and some other stuff.
I have not. When did that come out?
Like earlier this year. It's not very good. It's very much an experimental album for them. It's their first new music they've released since 2015, like other than their re-recordings of older songs.
Yeah, the Twin Fantasy stuff. Yeah.
Next up we have a Glass. I mean, I really like their re-recordings of old stuff. I think it's a lot better and a bit more polished.
Yeah.
But yeah, this new album is just a little too experimental for me.
It's okay. I like experimental music.
We'll see how you feel about this one. All right, and then after Glass is a Brick, which is I'm building a lot more cottages than I had hoped on.
So, before we continue with the music talk, what's your strategy for today, guys? What are you planning to do?
Almshouses.
I'm doing temples. I might sink in a couple of almshouses, but I'm going to try to play the cottage game and the temple game, and then hopefully I'm also using Shrine of Wind Seeds.
Builder's choice.
Banking at late.
Almshouses everywhere. That is my strategy.
And you, Kyle?
I am playing Jeweler, and I'm putting a few banks in.
Okay.
But I also got the Pedal Promenade as my monument.
That's one of my favorites from this expansion.
So I had some extra coins to spend.
Now, did you build it when you had no coins or when you had a couple saved up?
I built it. I had 1 coin when I built it.
Risky.
I think that's optimal. So John Kelsey
probably is not optimal.
John
Okay.
Kelsey.
Right now we are on the second shuffle, and now it's time for Josh to tell us about Cat Lady Box of Treats.
Look, guys, go buy Cat Lady Box of Treats. Go buy Santa Monica. Buy all the things I work on. Look, it's an expansion to Cat Lady. That's all you need to know. It's more important for me to get back to the music conversation. Buy Santa Monica. It's awesome. I'm working on some cool new stuff for Santa Monica. Cat Lady. Hey, there's going to be a mini expansion coming out for Cat Lady as well. They're great. Just buy more of it. Let's get back to the music talk. Come on, let's.
Josh, come here. Let me give you a hug.
Grab.
We're 95 games in. We're 95 games in. Just buy Cat Lady. Just do it.
Ryan's commenting that faction grab is not working in the store. Is it capital F, capital G? Kyle, does it matter?
It shouldn't matter. Are they putting at least? Are they putting? They need to put the faction plus 50. The faction pack plus a $50 product or more of product in the store for it to work.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
All right.
If that is not working, let me know.
Jay is asking how is he doing. Well, he's recovering. He's well. He's still with his family. He's being taken care of. At some points, he just sends us random phone calls or Slack calls and let us know what he's thinking and say, hey, I wish this will be done in a different way, and totally changes what we're doing. So he's doing fine, and I hope that he goes back soon. He come back soon.
He seemed pretty good. I had a meeting with him today.
Cool.
I told him a bunch of Tiny Town stuff, and we had an interesting conversation. I'll tell you about it later, Peter. About some things he just had.
Okay. Looking forward to it. Stone is the first call this run through the deck. Good news for everyone going for almshouses.
And not bad news for people going for temples. So, it is what it is.
Oh boy.
Patricia says, I already do buy everything you do, Josh. Well, thank you so much. And Paul says, my wife wants Cat Lady. Here, I'll do my official thing. Get it for her. It's $20. Just get it. And then buy the expansion box of treats. And it'll be awesome. You will have a happy wife. It'll be great. What are you waiting on? I guarantee more than $20 worth of entertainment out of it. Just do it.
And after that stone is a wood. Boy, wood was the easiest resource to put in my bank this game.
Yeah.
I have not regretted that for a moment.
I haven't either.
Yep. And then we have Builder's Choice.
Builder's Choice.
Yep, so that is going to be...
What was it before wood?
Stone.
Yep.
This round we started with stone, wood, Builder's Choice.
Going to build a 5th almshouse, the scariest number of almshouses to have. Oh boy. And then we have a wheat up next.
John says, I've played Santa Monica 5 times, all with Josh remotely. And I was like, oh, when was this? And then I forgot, of course, because we've been playing every Wednesday.
Yep.
So tomorrow to play Santa Monica with me.
Yeah. All right, next up we have glass after that wheat.
John says I can't get to get it to the table. There's no table yet.
And Josh, are you gonna show us something special from Santa Monica that you're working on this week? Not yet.
I can't do anything this week. But you know what? I'll talk a little bit about what I'm doing with Santa Monica.
Yay!
I'll give a little teaser about what's going on. Maybe I can show one of the new pieces of art that Jeremy's working on that I think is super cool.
Awesome.
Builder's Choice is next.
You know, the thing that you just did is one of my favorite parts of Santa Monica now, so I hope that more people get to enjoy it.
Yes, I think it is crazy that this little micro expansion I'm doing feels like a big old expansion. It's pretty crazy.
Ooh, cool. Very intrigued.
What was this called?
Builder's Choice.
Oh.
And following Builder's Choice is a brick, which
I don't love that. Do you want to?
What did you call it, Pete?
Brick.
Thank you.
Do not love it. Nope. That's gonna go there. This is gonna be like my most successful Shrine of the Windseed ever. I'm pumped. And then after that, brick is a glass, which I'm gonna pay to change into stone, and then build my Shrine of the Windseed. Oh, I messed up. That's sad. I could have done this more efficiently. That's okay. I'm gonna make my Shrine of the Windseed. It's going to cost me a not insignificant amount of points.
Only 15 points.
And that is going to get me 5 coins. I'm loaded up. Oh, I wish I could rewind time and fix that. Maybe I can do something else a bit wild, though. Okay, and then following that, we have Builder's Choice.
All right. Against my better judgment, I'm going to do this. To do this. Perfect. Levin said Santa Monica by Everclear. I vaguely remember that song. I vaguely remember Everclear in general.
Alrighty. And I wish I had done that differently. That's such a bummer. How can I fix this? I probably can't. Okay, next up we have a stone.
Stone.
Yep. I'm gonna pay a coin and change that into a wheat, I suppose. After stone is a brick. That's good stuff. And then we have Builder's Choice.
Builder's Choice.
That's gonna make.
I still maintain my $10 strategy in Santa Monica. It's fairly devastating. I love those cards that give you VP for $10. I think it can be if you get multiple of them, and especially when you're playing like the solo mode, it can be a little dominant. If you're playing a multiplayer game, people can kind of counter draft them. I think it's totally.
Stone is next up. Pretty bad news.
It was stone.
Pete, it was a stone, brick, Builder's Choice, a stone, right?
Yep. And then next up we have a wood. Pretty bad news.
Oof.
I'm actually going to place that wood.
I am not. And then we have Builder's Choice to end that run through the deck. Make my last cottage. And we're shuffling. All right, can't complain. I messed up a little bit at the end there. I could have gotten a jeweler in pretty easily, but I just put my buildings in the wrong spot. But I got 6 almshouses.
You got the 6 almshouses going.
Things are good. I know. I could have had 6 almshouses. I could have gotten in a temple or a jeweler if I had just planned a little better. Actually, temple probably would have been the build. I should have done that.
Are you just going to basically try to just put in a shed and end your game, I guess?
Yeah, but I need to get a wood. I need to get lucky with the wood because I can't spend either of my coins here.
And
so I need exactly stone and wood.
Before we go into the last round, I want to remind everyone that we do a daily giveaway, and if you want to be part of that, you need to like and share the stream. The prize for today is a promo pack of the new purple butterflies, 4 mariposas.
Awesome. Alrighty, Julian's at with 35. 35 is a pretty good score, I would say. Alrighty.
John, I
Starting off this run.
just defeated Josh this week for the first time ever with a $100 strategy.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, glass is next up, so that is basically going to end my game. That's okay. Kyle, how are you doing?
Okay.
Been better.
Okay.
Can you call a brick here?
It's a wood. Sorry, Josh.
It's okay.
Yep, that is it for me.
So I'm going to double build.
Ooh.
Whoops. I've been dropping pieces all over the floor.
And then we have builder's choice. Double building this late, that's wild. How many spaces do you have left, Josh?
What it was glass?
It went glass wood. And Richard has a question. If wood is in my bank, is it just in dealer's choice that I can't use it? That's correct. When using a coin, you can still change it into wood.
Sorry. So what was we just had a dealer's choice. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Got it.
Glass wood, dealer's choice. And then everybody's favorite resource, wood.
Wood.
Nice try, Vlad.
I think I will spend a coin, and I'm gonna do this. Unfortunately, I'm gonna build my Shrine of the Wind Seed and go back up to 4 coins.
Wow, pretty fancy.
You know what? One of
Not
these days
5 coins?
we should all these guys as aliens and change the resources into alien resources, and we do a alien team Tiny Towns just to change things.
I think it'd be really hard to get me to do that because originally Cat Lady was, after Cat Lady came out, John wanted me to make an alien version of the game, and I had not a good time trying to make that game. So
Gee,
After
I'm a little
wood is a
anti-alien.
brick. Brick is next up. You want us to dress up as aliens, Vlad?
yeah, I just want to spice things a little bit and try weird things.
Okay.
But that's me in my whole life.
Oh,
Remember,
things interesting.
I'm the guy that eats and eggs, crickets, all that type
That's
of
true.
stuff.
And after brick, of course, is builder's choice.
How many stones have you called this round?
0.
Zero stones.
Have you called a glass? Yeah, you've called glass.
1 glass. Yep, we called everything. Or no, sorry, we had 1 glass, 2 wood, 1 brick.
Give me a stone, or this is going to be a real bad game.
It's a wheat. I'm very sorry, Kyle. What did you fail to build?
I didn't fail to build anything. It was just the only thing that.
I thought you were like working on a root cellar or something.
No, I needed to get a coin back at some point, and I never got a chance to double build again.
Yeah.
And so I ended up spending the rest of the game trying to cram buildings in, and I ran out of space.
Yeah, that's one thing that can happen with Fortune. It's just a bit of a slippery slope if you have a few mess ups and then you aren't able to earn those coins back.
You called a lot of double resources that I didn't need.
Yeah, I tend to do that. It's sort of my hobby. After wheat is brick. Josh, you still going?
I am still going.
Wow. Okay, I think I have my score here. I can't complain. I did pretty okay. And then after brick is builder's choice.
Okay.
Builder's choice.
Build.
With 34, says Richard. Pretty good. 18 for Casey. Not a terrible score by any means.
And we have the winner of the day.
Oh, awesome.
And the winner is Susan Gary. Congratulations, Susan. You just won.
Great, congrats. 37 for David Bauer. I think that's the highest score I've seen on the chat, I believe. Only a couple scores so far, so I'm going to go a little while longer. And Josh is still going, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I just realized I only have 1 alms house. What am I doing?
That's a bad number. I mean, not the worst number, but
Yeah.
not good. Here's a stone in case you want to try to make number 2. Do you still have space?
I got home.
John Cale is out with 42.
All right, 42 is the highest score I've seen. Leslie's out 33. Great score.
What did you call a stone?
I called a stone, and I'm going to help Josh even more and give him another stone.
Ooh, double stone.
Ooh, good job.
Could it
Have to
be a
save
triple
Josh quite a
stone?
bit of points. 6-point swing. Well, it's not a triple stone, but there's a builder's choice. Let's see. It could be triple stone, though.
It could be.
Perfect.
All right, glass is up next. Probably what Josh just chose for his builder's
Ooh.
choice.
That's what I just chose for my builder's choice, but it's all gay. It's all okay.
All right, and then we have a brick.
Perfect.
And you're
And
still
then,
playing?
of course, builder's choice.
Perfect.
Wow.
So
and
we're
you're still going, Josh.
I have
43.
two spaces left, and so I need a whatchamacallit resource.
So let me give you the next 2 resources, Josh.
Well, I can do it.
Okay.
I'll flip them.
Just shuffle.
Thomas Grieve is out at 43. I'll spoil a little bit. I also got 43 today, so I would say that's a really good score, Thomas. To give myself a sort of compliment. Yeah, I got 5 coins for Shrine of the Wind Seed, which felt pretty good. I always love that moment leading up to building your Shrine of the Wind Seed when you feel like you can just spend coins left and right. That's always fun.
So today I discovered that they released a Star Wars expansion for The Sims 4.
Wow. That was hilarious.
And I'm not sure how I feel about it.
You're gonna play it.
I don't own The Sims 4, so I don't know that I am going to play it.
Is that an excuse, Kyle? Is that a real excuse?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
All right, Josh, you need stone and wood.
Yep, need stone and wood back to back.
Okay, I'm cutting the deck once for good luck for you. First up is a brick.
All right, I'm out. Oh, actually, hold on.
He's
So
gonna use the
anticlimactic.
coin. He's gonna use the coin.
Oh, I mean, here's the thing. I could spend a coin. Like I could spend coins, but I'm gonna need a total of 3 coins. I have 4 right now, and then my
All right, Casey,
question is-
Do it, Josh. Do it.
definitely spend the coin. Casey is saying I'd say 18 is pretty bad. If
No,
you
no,
say 18 is pretty bad, I've got a
I'm
negative 10
I'm gonna be.
before.
I'm not gonna spend the coin, but reveal the next one because if it's wood or stone, then the correct move is to spend the coin.
It's glass.
Good.
Well
good.
played, Josh.
Actually, I think I've gotten negative 16 with current Tiny Town's rules. I think I was testing Fortune, and I just filled up my board with cubes, and I built absolutely nothing. So maybe 18 is not the best score, but I'd be curious what you would call negative 16 with no buildings built. After that glass is builder's choice.
You could do worse. You can build like you could build 5 almshouses and then nothing else.
No,
Alright.
I think the worst would be to build like 5 warehouses, fill them with cubes, and then build nothing else. That's like the lowest score possible, and that would actually be really tough to do.
Okay, guys. Give me your scores. Pete.
I have 43.
Okay, Kyle.
30.
Nice.
Solid. Josh
Senor
is doing
Wood.
math, probably.
I am doing a little bit of math. They call it doing a little bit of math.
How many banks did you end up building, Kyle?
I got 3 in.
3 is 3 seems to be a dangerous number for banks.
It is. It is very dangerous. And then I ran out of space. And it's
Well,
like, oh.
the John Kale, who was the biggest score on the chat, actually managed to do it with 3 banks, 6
Wow.
houses, 2 yielders, no monument.
Pete, what was your score?
43.
I got 37 today.
So Pete wins! Congratulations, Pete!
Thanks. Get to retire another fortune monument. Josh, I still need that. I need you to make me a terrible monument to play with at some point, so we can be even.
Yes, I do need to make you a terrible monument. So,
what was John's score that you saw there, Vlad? I'm looking for it. He got 42. I think he's beaten just by a little bit by Thomas Grieve, who tied me with 43. But even so, 42 points to 3 banks, super impressive.
Wow.
That is
I think Thomas, you're
good score.
You're the highest score of the day. I think everyone is a winner, but you're the highest score. Congrats.
hey, I know we allow everyone to play. I know we allow everyone to play 4 games of Tiny Towns with us every week. But if you haven't played enough Tiny Towns, remember, if you want to play some future stuff, head over to the Tiny Towns playtesting group, and you can play some new stuff that's in the works, and give us your feedback. It would really help us out. For all the people out who are doing it, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's some really cool stuff we're testing. I think it's fair to say it will make you rethink how you play Tiny Towns. It's that sort of expansion, just like, similar to how Fortune forces you to rethink your building strategy. This expansion does that, I would say, to a greater extent. We are pretty pumped. So
yeah, and a big shout out to Julian. Julian's been really going above and beyond in the playtesting things. So we appreciate it.
It's been awesome. Thanks, Julian.
Okay,
Alrighty,
guys,
everyone.
instead of small advancements before we go, remember that on September 21, we're going to play Tiny Towns 100. We want to make it at least 100 players, so please tell your friends. If each one of you invites at least 1 or 2 friends, we are going to make it. We're going to have some special guests, including the winners from Tiny Towns number 75 that are going to be part of the guest team for that day.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. That'll be fun.
I didn't know that either.
Alrighty. Thank you for playing, everyone. Stay safe and keep playing games. We'll be back tomorrow with Santa Monica. See you, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. See you.